Bharat is a trusted partner in the Caribbean nation's development journey. PM Modi also made a reference to Olympic gold medalist and world record holder Usain Bolt, who hails from Jamaica, remarking that ties between the two nations will now grow faster than the ace sprinter. 40 assembly constituencies have recorded 65.48% polling till 5 p.m. in the final phase of Jammu and Kashmir assembly polls. Udhampur has recorded the highest voter turnout. Samba has followed suit, and then it is Kathua. But the final numbers have still not come in. They have not fructified yet, ladies and gentlemen. As per the latest report by the Mahindra First Choice, the overall used car sales went up from 4 million units in FY 2019-20 to around 5.1 million units last fiscal and are poised to reach 5.6 to 6 million units by financial year 25. That means more people are now investing or buying used cars. The report claimed that the Indian used car industry was valued at $32.44 billion in financial year 23 and will more than double to $73 billion by financial year 28. And we don't need 5 days to polish off Bangladesh. That's what our players have shown, ladies and gentlemen. A strong bowling attack followed by Yashasvi Jaiswal's half-century helped Team India defeat Bangladesh by 7 wickets in the second test of the 2-match series in Kanpur, and that too when they had seen at least 2.5 to 3 days of rain in this test. With this win, Bharat have swept the series 2-0. So congratulations to Team India, BCCI. Now tougher series beckon. But we're going to talk about the big story now, ladies and gentlemen. A day after the Enforcement Directorate registered a money laundering case against Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, equivalent to an FIR by the police over alleged irregularities in the allotment of 14 sites to his wife by MUDA, that is the Mysuru Urban Development Authority. ED's case comes after the Karnataka Lokayukta police on Friday booked the Chief Minister and his wife, brother-in-law and former landowner named Devaraju on charges of corruption, cheating and forgery in connection with the allotment of 14 MUDA or Mysore Urban Development Authority housing sites to the Chief Minister's wife in 2021. Now, earlier on Tuesday, Siddaramaiah's wife Parvathi wrote a letter to MUDA officials saying she wishes to now return the 14 acres in 14 plots and cancel the sale deed. She also wishes to transfer the ownership of land back to MUDA. She also said that the decision was hers alone. MUDA officially has taken over 14 sites surrendered by Siddaramaiah's wife. It's all happened in a day, ladies and gentlemen. MUDA has now said that they have cancelled the sale deed of 14 sites that were in Parvathi Siddaramaiah's name. MUDA has said that they will inform the investigating agencies about the sites taken back. MUDA Commissioner Raghunandan has said that the site won't be allotted to anyone till the investigation is concluded. Now, shortly after her letter to MUDA officials, Siddaramaiah said his wife was a victim of the politics of hatred against him. She, who's been apolitical all along, has been victimized and dragged into all of this, Mr. Siddaramaiah said. Karnataka BJP took a dig at the Chief Minister, asking whether a thief becomes innocent as soon as he returns the stolen goods. Seeking the Chief Minister's resignation, BJP leaders have said by returning the sites, Mr. Siddaramaiah is admitting that there has been some mistake, some aji-baji there. The decision to surrender the sites is a political drama, is what they are saying. So exactly what are the charges against the Karnataka Chief Minister and his family? In 2004, a 3.16 acre plot was bought by Mallikarjuna Swamy, the Chief Minister's brother-in-law. That plot was gifted to Parvathi ji by Mallikarjuna Swamy in 2010. MUDA illegally developed the land between 2011 and 2013, following which Parvathi Ammaji in 2014 sought compensation. In 2017, MUDA agreed to compensate Siddaramaiah's wife Parvathi ji. In 2022, the CM's wife was given 14 plots in Mysuru's Vijayanagar area, prime area. The complainant has argued that the allotted plots were far more valuable than the original land under MUDA's 50-50 scheme. In October 2023, alternative sites allotment on a 50-50 basis was halted. In June this year, an RTI activist via an application revealed illegal allotment, quote unquote, to the Chief Minister's wife. In July this year, the Chief Minister sought compensation of 62 crore for the land. Thereafter, the Governor issued a show cause notice to Siddaramaiah. The Chief Minister, while responding to the Governor's notice, denied all allegations in August. In the same month, the Governor granted prosecution sanction against Siddaramaiah, and the latter was upheld. The High Court upheld the prosecution sanction against the Chief Minister. 62 crore rupees he asked for in compensation. Now his wife is saying, I don't want this land, let us just give it all these 14 plots. And Mr. Siddaramaiah is saying, see, this political hatred, what it's all done. Surabhi Hodigere, spokesperson Karnataka BJP with us. Sanket Yanagi, advocate with us. Anand Ranganathan, author, scientist, political commentator with us. Namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. What is this, Dr. Ranganathan? It's so unfair that the Karnataka BJP is. How can they? Mr. Siddaramaiah only in June or July this year wanted 62 crore in compensation. Now his wife has had to give back all these 14 plots.
Good evening, Arad, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, the bold appear brave till they are bought. The crooks appear convincing till they are caught. I think the news is well and truly tightening around Mr. Siddaramaiah. There is no hope now, because MUDA scam is as open and shut as it gets. Well, I suppose the only thing that can trump in open and shutting as far as scams are concerned is the National Herald scam, but that's a different matter. I think it promises to upstage even National Herald scam as the Kohinoor in the Congress crown of scams. You know, in the latest version of Microsoft Word, Anand, if you right click the word Congress, the first synonym that crops up is scam. Please try it. The question is not that the Congress is corrupt or indulging in scams. Of course it is. I mean, the scam glut is such that even the Congress leaders get confused which Congress leader perpetrated which scam. Was it Raja in National Herald? Was Kalmadi in Colgate? Was Natwar in Commonwealth? Was Chidambaram in 2G? The cup runneth over. No, the question is, when will the guilty be punished? And that is why, Anand, I'm afraid the Congress is simply going to brazen this out. They know nothing is going to happen to them. And worst comes to the worst, Mr. Siddaramaiah will join the BJP. Like Ajit Pawar, like Ashok Chavan, like Jindal, like Chowdhury, like hundreds of others who the BJP called corrupt and wanted arrested. Anand, the incontrovertible fact is that in this country, you can fool all of the people all of the time. Now, it is important that I break down this scam in easy, digestible bits, because we Indians understand conflict. We Indians understand interests, but not when separated by a proposition of. This is a clear-cut case of conflict of interest, if ever there was one. Here are the facts. In 2004, the brother-in-law of Mr. Siddaramaiah purchased 3.16 acres. 2005, land was converted for non-agricultural use. 2010, the land was gifted by Mallikarjun Swamy to his sister, Miss Parvathi, the wife of Mr. Siddaramaiah. 2011 to 2013, when Congress had the Chief Minister in Karnataka, guess who? MUDA acquired Miss Parvathi's land. In 2014, Miss Parvathi applied for compensation from MUDA. In 2017, MUDA granted alternative sites to Siddaramaiah's wife. In 2020, MUDA agreed to award alternative sites on a 50-50 basis. 2021, Miss Parvathi sought alternative sites as compensation. In 2022, now comes the BJP. Miss Parvathi was allotted 14 plots in Vijayanagar. In 2023, the Karnataka government scrapped the 50-50 scheme. And in 2024, this year, Mr. Siddaramaiah, as you rightly said, sought 62 crore in compensation. The state government set up a one-man inquiry, look at the conflict of interest, to investigate the matter that involved the Chief Minister. Karnataka Speaker U.T. Khadar even denied permission to discuss the alleged MUDA scam in the State Assembly. The Governor issued a show cause notice. The State Cabinet urged the Governor to withdraw the show cause notice. The Governor granted sanction for an investigation. Siddaramaiah filed a plea in the Karnataka High Court to dismiss that plea. Finally, the High Court had said, no, this will go on. So in summary, the fact of the matter is this relates to massive violations by MUDA. There is no hope left. You have to find out, go till the end. That is the only option left.
No, but the point is, you've given us the entire chronology. 3.61 crore equal to 62 crore in less than 2 decades. That's the net that stands out for me. But the other net is Surabhi Hodigere. Plots are back with MUDA. Now where is the corruption?
No. Hang on. Plots are not back with MUDA, Anand.
Yeah, MUDA has taken it back. They've given it back. They've got nothing. So there's no gain. There's no corruption. What's the problem now?
Years ago, when a Hubalt watch was given to Mr. Siddaramaiah and there was an uproar in the assembly, he took it off and he said, I don't want it. The charisma that he has in terms of this mass leader, I'm uncorrupt, I'm somebody who's had 40 years of no taint on me. Today, there is an FIR in this case. The matter is in court. You can't just assume that law is such that you steal, a thief goes into somebody's house, steals something and then gives it back to them and the criminality doesn't disappear. There is no giving it back. The criminality has happened. I am not as pessimistic as Anand sir is because I've seen what has happened in Karnataka in the last 3 months. From the beginning, where, let me very candidly say this, that the people of Karnataka looked at MUDA 3 months ago and said, what is this BJP talking about? What are they bringing up? Because they could not see the chronology of events leading to criminality. Today, everybody on the street will tell you that the court order, the special court order as well as the high court order that came in, reads like a FIR copy where the every single instance, it is very clearly seen that the CM has erred and his family has erred. There is a lot of matter to be investigated and a lot more to be prosecuted. So where we are today is from the matter not being discussed in the assembly to Siddaramaiah sir saying that, oh, I have not done anything wrong. Why should I give it back? And then saying I'll take 62 crores, thundering that, oh, I'm a Mahinda leader. That is why they are coming after me. And then today, going the wife of the chief minister giving that letter and saying that I'm going to return the sites. In fact, the BJP and JDS have been saying on television, why don't you return the sites? Why don't you return the sites from 2 months? It's too late. It's too late.
Now he's not listened to you, but Parvathi ji has listened to you, and she's saying enough of this whole thing. I don't want these plots. Take it back. Now, point is, from the eyes of the people, oh, they was taking the plots. No, not done. Now they've given back the plots. Over. Let's move on. Siddaramaiah, he carries on. He carries on with his work. The people move on because the BJP and the JDS, like you said, Surabhi Odikere, just now said, give back the plots. He did. He said, I won't. But his wife said, enough. Ho gaya. Tumhara FIR bhi ho gaya, ECIR bhi ho gaya. Enough. I don't want any more. Take the plots. I'd rather have my husband on the CM's chair and comfortable rather than FIR and court proceedings, etc., and I'm giving back this is given. Now people will say, what's the problem? Surabhi Odikere.
The problem is that the land has been given in an illegal manner. There is criminality that is very clearly visible in whatever documents we have right now. You can't undo a crime. This is not a Word document that you can press undo on. The crime has happened. And unfortunately or fortunately, the wife of the CM, if she's so concerned about, returning the plots or her husband's chair, she should have thought about this through the entire process. Would the lady in question have gotten these sites in this upscale Vijayanagar area had she not been the CM's wife? I think that's a super pertinent question to ask. There is chronologically, if you look at the way that the land has been transferred as well as the giving of sites in much more higher priced areas, there is very clear questions that come up. This is going to be investigated. There is no question. And, a lot of people have been saying today, this is about Swabhiman and, she's coming to protect her husband. Please resign then. Use the same Swabhiman and resign. You should not be sitting when you're being investigated.
Okay, Sanket Yanagi.
He has set of himself.
Let me go one by one. Property was acquired in the year 2004 by the son-in-law of Mr. Chief Minister. There is no criminality attached or allegation made insofar as validity or legality of the acquisition of land. There is no allegation as such. It goes valid, number one. Number two, it was gifted to his sister. That is also not been the subject matter of challenge at any point of time. And there is no criminality attached to it, number two. Subsequently, the request was made for alternative site and it was also considered and allotment was made. Now, what has been the allegation of the BJP is that because of the undue influence of the Chief Minister, who was not the Chief Minister then, the plots have been allotted, alternative sites of the higher value has been allotted. The first question is, the criminality attached is, as regards the Chief Minister, is that he has influenced and he has facilitated allotment, number two. Number 3, by virtue of which the properties of the higher dimension or higher value have been allocated. That is how they are saying that the criminality is attached to the benefit of an alternative site. Once that criminality attached as regards the allegations made itself has been withdrawn, or the criminality or the proceeds of a crime are also withdrawn or surrendered, then there is nothing. It is a big zero again. The result effect is zero, number 1. And once the proceeds of the, assuming for a moment as per the BJP, it is the proceeds of a crime. Maybe it's an undue influence or be that as it may. But if, according to the BJP, the allotment of sites in the name of the wife of the CM is the proceeds of crime. If it is so, and the proceeds of crime have been surrendered, there is nothing remaining in the hands of the one against whom the allegations have been made as per law, as per the provisions of the PMLA Act. As a lawyer, I'm speaking to. You can see the judgment of the Supreme Court in Vijay Chaudhary case, which justifies the point that only so long as the allegation as specified under the scheduled offence is alive, the prosecution as regards the ECI would be maintainable. It is not sustainable thereafter once the proceedings itself has been withdrawn or stopped or have been further been passed on. So now the question, let us understand the law as well. When she do not want any property at all, there is no proceeds of the crime according to the BJP also, then where is the criminality attached?
See, my point is, Sanket ji, you are a lawyer and you make a very fantastic argument. I am not a lawyer, but I understand mathematics. You said the whole thing is zero. For zero to happen, to materialize, it has to be 1 minus 1. Then it is 0. 1 minus 0 is not 0. So 1 minus 1, so that means there is 1. So when there is 1, that means there is criminality.
Let me answer that.
There was a gain. Right? What you are saying is, because you have handed back the 1, there is no. But the fact is that there was 1 in the first place, or there were those 14 plots in the first place, because there was an action of criminality.
So let me answer that question. The value of the property in the year 2004 and 2017 and 2024 is different, which everyone has to accept it. Number 1. The nature of the property also changed from time to time. You cannot deny, we cannot deny its own facts. Since the value of the property then and now is different, and evaluation made is also different, one cannot say that they proceeded on the formula 50-50. That's precisely the point.
Yeah, but how many people got those plots at 50-50 rule, sir? Please tell me.
Because
the 50-50 rule also got over faster than a packet of 50-50 biscuits.
Yes,
true or false?
You are 3 people here, I am only one person. Let me answer that question.
Only one person is asking you the question as of now.
No.
Yes.
One. So we have got Karnataka Urban Development Authority Act and the rules provided for allotment of the sites. The provisions clearly says those who are seeking or filing an application for allotment of the sites should not have any site available or residence available in their name, number 1. But if you look at many legislators of several parties, including that of the BJP, which is on the top rank, those who have a site already, those who have already the residence have applied for the site and have been allotted, they have constructed the building and residing there and there. Automatically their house has to go, and criminality is even attached to it.
No, charge.
Their membership, one minute please, let me complete that.
Please.
If it is clearly an offence for wrongful declaration or non-disclosure of alternatives or the existing house of the site in their name, and it is a criminal offence also under 407, 420 and also other provisions of law of the previous IPC and now different provisions of the PNSS. So if that is the case, along with the criminality attached for the declaration, their membership would also go. They shall not have the right to continue as the members of the Legislative Assembly or the Parliament. So if you look into that provision and the benefit which the people are claiming, and the BJP It is sitting in a glass house and throwing stones.
You see, whether the BJP is sitting in a glass house or not is not my concern. If there is an act of corruption, it's an act of corruption, whoever the neta is. If there is an act of criminality or a favor that has been begotten, it doesn't mean that, okay, I'm giving you, so then all of us are together in it, so none of us will blame the other. That's a nice coterie or a nice cabal that the netas can form, but that doesn't matter to the common person like me. If there is an act of criminality, wielding of influence or a conflict of interest or using your office for profit, then it's a criminal act and it's wrong. That's what ethically, morally, as a people's representative, it's a stab in the on the face of the people and the vote, corruption of the vote of the people. That's what I'm trying to say. Anand Ranganathan wanted to say something. Sanket ji, please. Anand Ranganathan and then Surabhi Odigire. Yeah.
Yes, I have great regard for Sanket ji, very erudite lawyer, very logical, especially because if the Karnataka police comes after me, I will hope to take his services to defend me. But couple of points out here. I hope he'll do it pro bono. But I think Sanket ji might be right. And I'll tell you why. Because as I keep saying, we are a banana republic ever since we became a republic. Now let me give you an analogy, a straightforward case of my taking a bribe or giving a bribe, which is clearly a criminal offense. And it comes known. The next thing what I do is I return the bribe and I say, look, there is no criminality. Retrospective removal of criminality is a fact in this banana republic, Anand. How many cases shall I give you? The biggest case is when the High Court convicted BJP and Congress in FCRA violation fraud for accepting illegal donations. The BJP, with the aid of the Congress on the floor of the Parliament, retrospectively amended the FCRA Act, removing the clause that would render the High Court conviction toothless. So anything can happen in this country. By donating that land, you can clearly say, look, retrospectively the crime has disappeared. Anything can happen in this country, Anand.
Yes, Surabhi Odigire. That is true. Anything can happen, sir. But for you and me, sir, 3 crores will not become 62 crores.
For you and me, we are common people.
It doesn't happen.
Anand sir, I have great respect for you. I have great respect for you, but I think the question of what happens is also slightly our responsibility. And as a representative of BJP Karnataka, I'm proud to say that we're going to keep fighting to ensure that whatever happens in the Banana Republic does not continue to happen. In that line, may I say,
but when the allocation of the MUDA plots happened, which republic was it in Karnataka?
I want to show you the court order. High Court order, where it is observed that, interestingly and most intriguingly, S. Yatindra, MLA and son of Siddaramaiah and Parvathi, was present during these council meetings. The decisions to allocate particular sites, and especially these 14 sites, were decided in meetings held in 2017 later on, December 2 dates, and then 2021. I agree, it was during the BJP government, and I'm saying that please investigate the MUDA commissioner, investigate every officer that was there. I don't have to tell anybody through this channel that one of the most corrupt bodies that we see in India are your urban development corporations. Let's clean them up. Let's start with MUDA. The whole point here is not about which party or not. The point is, if there has been corruption and there's been acts of corruption, let's clean it up. Why don't we have the courage to say that? I also want to tell you one more thing, which is that I'm very surprised today. I've been sitting on television debates the entire day, and I'm very surprised to hear this from Congress spokespersons who are sent to defend the indefensible. But I'm very surprised to hear this from an advocate. Sir, my genuine question, in the Valmiki scam, the scam that the Chief Minister has accepted on the floor of the House, saying that, oh no, only just 89 crores, not 187 crores of the ST welfare fund has gone to Telangana and then Bellary to fund elections illegally through fake bank accounts. Tomorrow, if this money is returned, do we forgive the perpetrators? Do we forgive them and say, no criminality, TK, done? I don't understand. There is
the rule of law, and there is the rule of public sentiment, and in terms of narratives. See, I'm not saying that there is no act of criminality, Surabhi Odigire. What I'm trying to say is that if you are saying that you have taken land away that belongs to the people, and that land has now been given back to the people, for the common folk, okay, it's all back to zero. like Mr. Yanagi tried to say, zero. But when that zero happens, it is us who have to ask that for that zero to happen, there has some problem. There was some there that was got via a criminal act. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, have to wind up after this. Mr. Yanagi, one comment. Yeah, after.
Just 30 seconds. Surabhi is a very dear friend, and when she says she's not as pessimistic as I am, that nothing would come out of this, let me give her the example of a gentleman, unfortunately my namesake, Mr. Anand. He was with Congress. BJP wanted his arrest in Karnataka because he was facing 14 cases of forest crime charges, very serious charges of poaching and sandalwood smuggling. What did he do? He joined the BJP. And what did the BJP do? BJP made him the forest minister.
No, that we can go not just from Karnataka, it is there in every state of the country.
I take your comments, sir. Rest assured, we will not. I don't think Siddaramaiah sir is going to join the BJP.
Like we are saying, we can keep raising issues of probity and corruption, but the point is, there are boundaries, and with due respect, there should be boundaries that should be drawn when you say sabka saath. It cannot there should be boundaries that should be drawn. Otherwise, you can't point fingers. You will not have the conscience to point fingers with that kind of confidence at people who are indulging in acts of corruption, because the whole question will be tomorrow onward, day after tomorrow, they themselves will be in your rank, then what will you do? That's the reason why politics, probity go hand in hand, and you got to walk the talk there. Yeah. Sanketji, final word. I have to wind up. I'm way over time. Yeah.
We have the recent instance where the Supreme Court has held election bond is illegal and it has quashed it. That's it. That shows how the BJP works at the probity.
50% of the proceeds of electoral bonds went to 90% of the India Alliance people, and some of them are sitting right next door with whom you have a Kaveri water issue. They had the biggest. They were the biggest gainers. So let us not argue there. Let us plus say, Mr. Siddaramaiah, can he really escape the moral impact of and the responsibility of what his act has happened? It's happened within his own family, sir. The morality of it is important, sir. The morality of it is important, sir, and it should work at the level of conscience. Will it or won't it? We have to wait and watch. And will the people of Karnataka let this slide, or will they come back and make it count when it actually matters? We'll have to wait and watch. We'll wait and watch. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Ranganathan, please stay on with us. Sanket Yanagi, Surabhi Odigere, thank you. Moving on from Karnataka to Manipur, ladies and gentlemen. After violence, it's a hostage crisis in the state. Two boys belonging to the Meitei community have allegedly are being held hostage. Now, there are miscreants, insurgents who have now demanded the release of a prisoner who's been caught by the NIA under the acts of waging war against the Bharatiya state, and they want this person in exchange. Cops have told CNN News 18 that they don't plan any operation to try and extract these two hostages from the possession of these insurgents, these militants, because this operation will involve risk of life also to unsuspecting civilians, and it could perhaps escalate the strife between two ethnicities. More exclusive inputs that are coming through. According to the Manipur police, two boys were coming from Thobal district and they tried to enter the Kaithal Manbi region, a Kuki dominated area. They actually went into the wrong area. The Kaithal Manbi district is a big one. They went into the wrong area, and out of the three, one was freed, two were held hostage, and they are still being held hostage. The cops are in touch with civil society, village heads, and they are trying to get out a peaceful resolution. Cops are saying release of an accused needs court sanction, judicial scrutiny. They cannot release an accused who's accused of trying to wage a war against the Indian state. And secret movement of forces is not possible in the area. It's not going to be attempted. Cops are also saying, or police sources are also saying, that dialogue process is on. They are positive of a resolution very, very soon. Meanwhile, Manipur police sources have also said that they are very hopeful of securing the release of the two abducted Meitei youth over the next 24 hours. They are saying that they are close to securing the release. They were close to securing the release on Monday, and that they have been assured of the safety of the two boys so far. But it all hangs in the balance. It's quite delicate. Anand Ranganathan with us, and Dr. Malam is also with us. Namaste, gentlemen. Dr. Malim, this situation...
Hi, greetings.
How delicate is this? It's quite delicately poised, we are given to understand, and any misstep can further flare up situations, or is the wedge already driven too deep?
The situation is the tensions and the hysteria is as usual, but there are certain episodic incidents like the recent kidnappings and etc. Which further escalated the tensions. Otherwise, the hysteria has been there as usual. The insecurity of life and property is very much there. This must be on both sides. But then, yes, the situation like this certainly raise up, public raise and people coming out on the streets. That's the only thing. But if you see the overall trend, the tension is still there and the hysteria is still persistent.
So you're saying it is still persistent. We've got more news, so let's talk Manipur together. And this is a far greater dimension, gentlemen. I just want to bring this on also, Dr. Ranganathan and Dr. Malim. More inputs coming in on this entire plot and what's actually happening with some of these miscreants, these insurgent groups and these breakaway factions. Our Security Affairs Editor Manoj Kumar Gupta getting us these details, and CNN News 18 has accessed the secessionist strategy to continuously attack Jiribam region. Now, infrastructure and border control is first on their agenda before perhaps trying to push for an all-out separate administration or try to break away, carve out a separate area of their own. The secessionists want to control railways and highways. Jiribam is the region in point into Manipur from where there are further lengths inward. Rail lines are being built all the way. Attempt is to try and build connectivity all the way to Imphal and More. Now, recent fresh indiscriminate firing from the hills was perhaps part of this plot. Jiribam is a crucial lifeline for Manipur railway and highway, and it's a strategic plot for these secessionists. Now have a look at this map, ladies and gentlemen, very closely. We'll try and call it up here if we can. Top intelligence sources have said that this was known, that after More, the secessionists will attack Jiribam for separate administrative setup. Now, earlier they already captured areas of Churachandpur and Ferzwal in south. More and Jiribam are the border district where the Meiteis had also settled long back. So now you see, this is Myanmar. Plan was to build connectivity up to More, Churachandpur, and this is the Chandel region. This is Imphal. This is Tupul and Imphal. This is Jiribam. Okay, this is Badarpur, Arunachal, Silichar, and Bhairabi, that is Mizoram. So this is the entry point. Now, if they are able to cut off this entry point, then they will be able to block out this entire region. This is Bangladesh and Myanmar, and this is the whole area that is being eyed at by these separatists to try and create what they believe will be a separate cookie land. Now, this is the reason why there is serious concern of what's being targeted here. The Senapati district is also there. That's the gateway. That's the next gateway, that is Senapati district, where the Asian highway stretches up to More, bypassing the Palel area. So all of this region becomes very, very critical, and one needs to understand. So this is Senapati region. See, you see Senapati region here. Now the Senapati region, Nagaland, and it would come all the way down to More, and it would bypass this region. So what will happen is they'll carve out this region if they control good Jiribam, and then here, then entry into Manipur becomes very, very difficult. Dr. Malim and Anand Ranganathan with us as we put out this, and we also have access visuals now that show how secessionists are actually using sophisticated weapons. They are acting like trained warriors. We'll play out those videos also. See, Anand Ranganathan ji, this is a serious matter. The very integrity of our country and our territorial borders could be threatened if this is allowed to escalate.
No, absolutely, Anand. It is more serious, quite scary. Let me talk for a minute about what exactly has gone wrong. Now, Anand, very rarely does it happen, and it has happened extremely rarely in our modern history. I can think of but one instance, which was the four arms of the democracy have been cowardly, or pusillanimous, you can say, have been scared. It happened during the emergency when the legislature, the executives, the judiciary, and the media took a back seat. And the irony repeat of that agency. Now, yes,
you are a glorious exception. I remember about a month ago, you ran a 1-hour program where you, dissected this whole issue threadbare. You talked about the poppy cultivation. You talked about the threat from Myanmar, from China. You had, I think, Divya and I were on the program. So, thanks to you, we know a little bit more than we did previously. But the fact of the matter is, what are the details of this whole issue? The details is that the Congress, the opposition that rightly castigates this government and Mr. Modi for turning a blind eye to Manipur, rightly so, because he should have gone to Manipur immediately, talked about it, he did not. The fact is, during the UPA, it was the centre under the Congress that asked the then Manipur government, which was a Congress government, to at least bring out a white paper concerning the demand for Metis for an ST status. Nothing happened. The governments at both the centre and the state changed. The same request was sent. Nothing happened. So both the BJP and the Congress were fleet-footed on this, did not act or pusillanimous on this. Then comes the High Court. All the High Court did last year or 1.5 years ago was to ask for this thing again. Then the whole thing broke loose. All hell broke loose. And I would say it has never happened before that the High Court itself had redacted its own request. This is the cowardliness of the judiciary, of the executive, of the legislature, and glorious exceptions aside, i.e. you, of the media. Now you tell me, what is the solution if all 4 arms of the democracy fail? And I am at loggerheads to find a solution for this.
No, the other thing is that this has been allowed to fester for too long. Now, you have to have the hard hand to control people, and also the suspension of activity by paying doles to those who are using that money and perhaps to strengthen themselves and continue to build up arsenal like which has been found is. But the biggest challenge is the drug economy, the control of the poppy fields and the spread of the poppy fields. But there is also this neighboring issue of what's happening in Myanmar, and that is geopolitical, Dr. Malim. It's not just the Kuki Chin Zo coming together, but there are also other forces who are acting which is beyond Bharat.
Yes, there are many forces behind, and these Kuki terrorists are pursuing these aggressive tactics given in the backgrounds, the opportunities they are likely to gain from the Aegis policy, the development of infrastructures, roadways, etc., etc. So, like as I told last time, in 1992, they have wiped out the Nagas settling there. In 1995, they attacked the Tamil communities, the trading communities there. Gradually, these migrants and settler colonialists adopting the Zionist models have been, like the Israeli model, Zionist model, have been evacuating or force evicting indigenous people, trying to control important trade routes. Jiribam is significant not only simply because there is national highway, but also the fact that there is railways coming in, and extortions on the ways, and then extortions from projects for constructing infrastructure have been phenomenon. So at least they thought that by evicting the patriots, by evicting the guard, the people who were guarding the territorial integrity of India, they thought that they would be able to exert more pressure on the government. They will be able to exert all kinds of parasitic terroristic regimes to increase their profits, including free flow of drug trafficking, etc., etc. That has been quite phenomenon, and I'm really sorry to say that government of India should not remain silent on this. If these things happens to the Indo-Pakistan border, what would have been the response of government of India? Why it has been sitting silent on this issue for a long time? There should be, terrorists cannot be negotiated. This is what I'm saying. In national interest, terrorists cannot be negotiated. They are kidnapping people for ransom. And what political negotiations are you going to do? They are saying that they are not waging war against India. Then what is the purpose of suspension of operations since 2008? What is the government of India doing so long? That's my question. So, like as a taxpayer, we believe that the government of India has a responsibility to protect the lives and properties and the territorial integrity of India and the security concerns.
Right, but there is also wheels within wheels. There are multiple tribes, there are multiple belief systems, and there are multiple equations, and there are other forces too who have for long been given a free run to operate and to also corrupt the minds with respect to a particular narrative that borders on alienation from Bharat. So how much of that has to be changed or has been changed? These are all many questions that remain. Gentlemen, I have run out of time. I am compelled to take a break, but we'll stay. We'll come back to this story and we'll keep tabs on what's happening in Manipur here on The Right Stand, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we are in conversation with the Dada Saheb Phalke awardee, Mithun Chakraborty. Stay with us.
The search for
Congratulations on the Dada Saheb Phalke Award. Has it sunk in now? I'm sure you'd have
Thank you,
received
sir.
a lot
Thank you
of
so
calls.
Yeah. I'm flattered.
1976 National Award for Mrigaya, 2024 Dada Saheb Phalke Award. It's been quite a journey, Mithunda. Can you talk us through it?
Yes, it's a big journey, long journey, but it's not a happy, very painful journey all the way.
Why would you say that?
Because my life, I've never got anything on platter. Everything I have to struggle for, everything. So I cannot say that everything has been with roses. It's been a painful journey, very painful journey.
I read it was quite a humble existence for you even with Mrigaya 1976 during your debut movie. काफ़ी तकलीफ था उस वक्त भी और वहाँ से फिर आप स्टार हो गए 80s और 90s में डिस्को डांसर एंड सो मेनी सक्सेसेस. फिर आपने थोड़ा सा डाउन कर्व देखा.
एक्चुअली सर मृगया के बाद वो मेरी गलती थी. नेशनल अवार्ड मिलने के बाद मैं ऐसा लगा कि मैं अल्पाचीना हूँ और उसी तरह बिहेव भी करने लगा. ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ एटीट्यूड एंड दिस एंड प्रोड्यूसर सोचता था ये कौन है यार ऐसे बिहेव करता है, तो ऑफिस से निकाल दिया. तो नेशनल भी करेगा ना अगर कोई ऐसे बिहेव करेगा एक नेशनल अवार्ड के बाद. मैं सोचा मैंने नेशनल अवार्ड मिला मुझे मतलब ऑस्कर मिल गया. एनीवेज तो उस दिन मैंने सोच लिया, तय कर लिया कि मैं जब तक स्टार नहीं बनूंगा मैं पैरेलल सिनेमा में काम नहीं करूंगा. इसीलिए अब देखिए ये फ्रॉम 76 टू माई सेकेंड नेशनल अवार्ड, तो इतना लंबा सफ़र सुपरस्टार बना. तब उदयदेव बाबू दसगुप्ता मेरे पास आए तो मैंने कहा यस आई विल डू योर फिल्म.
और वो तहादेर का था 1996 20 साल बाद. 93 जी हाँ 92 93 जी. Nearly about 2 decades.
And then 95 Ramakrishna Paramhans.
हाँ Ramakrishna Paramhans.
Then third national award 95 Ramakrishna Paramhans.
सपोर्टिंग एक्टर का वो था जब स्वामी विवेकानंद पे आपने किया था, इफ आई रिमेंबर करेक्टली. पर इसको व्हेन यू लुक बैक और अब ये दादा साहब फाल्के अवार्ड जब आपके पास आया, आपको कन्फर किया गया, व्हाट वाज योर फर्स्ट थॉट, योर फर्स्ट इमोशन एट दैट टाइम? आपको एक्सपेक्टेड था कि आप?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वाज स्टन्ड एब्सोल्युटली एंड आई कुडंट बिलीव इट. सो मैं दो राहें में था, ये सच है कि झूठ है, सच है कि झूठ है, यही सोचता चला गया पूरा दिन. जब तक फिर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ उसमें भी मैंने कहा कि मैं अभी भी होश में नहीं हूँ. आई डू नॉट नो एक्चुअली व्हाट इज हैपनिंग विद मी.
The search for the
हमारा देश स्वच्छ नहीं हो सकता है? अगर 125 करोड़ देशवासी तय कर लें कि मैं कभी गंदगी नहीं करूंगा, तो दुनिया की कौन सी ताकत है जो हमारे शहर गांव को आकर के गंदा कर सकती?
10 years ago, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about building toilets for rural women and cleaning up the nation, many were shocked beyond belief. They wondered, how could a nation's Prime Minister say what he did from the ramparts of the Red Fort in his Independence Day speech? Well, there was a thought and an intent behind that. At the time of this address, back in 2014, nearly 60% of the world's open defecation was being reported in Bharat. This wasn't a healthy number and also painted quite a dirty picture of Bharat. Our cities, its roads, were not seen as clean. We were perceived globally as an impoverished, dirty, unhealthy nation that could not even provide the basic health and hygiene facilities to its people. And hence, we were far down the leaderboard on the health index. It was perceived as near impossible for Bharat to achieve the sustainable development goals that it had undertaken to fulfill under the climate accord. With Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi decided to change that on a mission mode. Launched on the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, the Swachh Bharat mission had set itself lofty targets and very demanding timelines. But when the Prime Minister of a nation of 1.4 billion people in all earnestness picks up the broom and starts cleaning up, an entire nation follows. In fact, there was nearly 10 truckloads of garbage, waste and junk that was actually cleared out of 7 Lok Kalyan Marg and the PMO itself, we are given to understand. Charity begins at home. Here, Swachhata began from the workplace. Cleanliness not just in surroundings but also in policy and governance. That has been the mool mantra of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Have a look at the numbers since October 2nd, 2014. 5,86,698 villages declared open defecation free. 11 crore 67 lakh 34,068 household toilets constructed. 4 lakh 6,544 villages have solid waste management. 4 lakh 98,297 villages have liquid waste management. 13 lakh 11,271 drainage facilities have been provided. 3,205 plastic waste management facilities have been established. 60,043 household biogas plants have been established. There is a live dashboard that updates the numbers as things happen. So there is Swachhata or transparency in implementation too. But this drive and push on a mission mode across 720 plus districts of Bharat also helped raise Bharat's stature globally, especially in the health and hygiene index. The truth about transformation of Bharat was writ in the numbers. Sample this. In the last 10 years, 75% of the villages in Bharat have declared themselves open defecation free plus. Nearly 60 to 70,000 lives have been saved annually by reducing sanitation-related diseases. Privacy and dignity of women by providing access to household toilets has been guaranteed. UNICEF study found that ODF saved each household nearly 50,000 rupees annually. The mission also inspired global initiatives like Nigeria's Clean Nigeria campaign. It influenced global sanitation policies via the 4 Ps: political leadership, public financing, partnerships, and people's participation. A mammoth effort like this also required huge outlays. The commitment was underlined in the budgetary allocations for Swachh Bharat mission. Year on year, the outlays have only increased, which has helped retain the momentum on target achievement. Have a look at this. 2014 to 15, 3,344 crore was allocated. That allocation went up to 4,437 crore rupees between 2015 and 16. 2016 and 17 saw it go up to 6,310 crore rupees. 2017 and 18 saw a drop to 3,180 crore rupees. So did 2018-19, where it dropped to 3,240 crore rupees. But then 2019-20, as the Sarkar comes back, look at the allocation, 9,468 crore rupee allocation. 2021, despite COVID, saw an allocation of 5,939 crore rupees. 2021-22, despite COVID again, saw an allocation of 5,050 crore rupees towards Swachh Bharat mission. 22-23 saw that allocation go up to 6,851 crore rupees, and in 23-24 it went back up to 9,550 crore rupees, and in 24-25 What is budgeted is 12,192 crore rupees, and this is as per the budget papers. But this work is not yet done. This is a continuous process and will remain so. The biggest challenge is to make Swachhata a way of life for every Bharatiya. Make it integral to Bharat's social DNA. Respect for Safai and the Safai Karamchari has gone up manifold in the last decade, yes, but there is much more to be done. SBM 2.0 will aim to focus on a plan for the future. First up, solid and liquid waste management systems across urban and rural areas are being very aggressively targeted. And secondly, fostering this behavioral change under this theme, Swabhav Swachhata, Sanskar Swachhata. That means ingrain it into the DNA of every Bharatiya. Under PM Modi, Swachhata has turned from a deliverable to a desirable. Under his leadership, the government has taken up the challenge to empower, educate and engage every single citizen. A lot of ground has been covered over the last 10 years. The mission is on. It's time we all lend our shoulder towards making Bharat Swachh.
Good evening, this is Rastak Samzaka Jacob. The Karnataka MUDA scam has taken a dramatic new turn after the Enforcement Directorate filed what's called an ECIR. That's the equivalent of an FIR against Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, his wife Parvathi and his brother-in-law. The Chief Minister's wife has now made a dramatic new offer. She has offered to return all the properties. She's written a letter, in fact, to the Lokayukta saying that she's willing to return all the properties that were given by MUDA, the Mysuru Urban Development Authority, in exchange for the agricultural land that was gifted to her by her brother. But the question is, why now? Why is she reacting in this 11th hour, making this offer almost post facto after the High Court cleared an investigation, after the governor gave the sanction to prosecute, and of course now a Lokayukta investigation has begun, and now an ED investigation has also begun. And to the Enforcement Directorate, this is what the Congress and its supporters are arguing. What is the role of the Enforcement Directorate here? Because after all, the ED can only step in if there is a case